Thank you for joining me on today's video. But before I dive into this particular video, please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I'll be covering anything about rugby, the sport I love. And if you love rugby, I recommend that you hit the subscribe button. The second stadium I would like to take you is the home ground of the Bulls. So the Bulls Stadium is located at Loftus Versfeld in Pretoria. Now Loftus was built in 1927 and it was expanded for the 2010 FIFA World Cup, and the expansion was completed in 2009. The seating capacity at Loftus Versfeld is 63,000, so it's a bit bigger than Cape Town Stadium. Let's talk about restaurants and bars. So Loftus Versfeld is located within the CBD, or the Central Business District of Pretoria. I visited Loftus once, so I'm talking about personal experience when dealing with Loftus. I was there for the Springboks versus New Zealand test match in 2018. And when I was there, I actually didn't see any, okay, there were restaurants, but it was very limited. There is a new, like a type of a shopping center area that was built right next to Loftus. It's brand new. I think it's called the Marriott Plaza or something. But people congregate there to have something to eat, to have something to drink before and after the game, but it's very limited and it also can become very full. And I've also noticed that there was people with stalls, locals that will erect their stalls. They would sell hot chips, or they would sell what we call boerewors rolls or hot dogs or things like that. What they actually do at Loftus during match days, on the adjacent field, they set up this huge beer garden. It's a huge beer garden. When I was there for the Springboks New Zealand game, it was just green and gold. You saw there, it was like huge. So I think Lion Lager, who's a sponsor of the Springboks, they set up that. So I think that some sponsor will do the same probably for the United Rugby Championship. So they sort people out that's into that. But I would say restaurant wise, it's very limited at Loftus. Concerning parking, now at Loftus there is school grounds around the stadium. Like I would say, like a 10-minute walk from the stadium, there's school grounds where people can park. When I was there, I parked at one of these school grounds. It cost me that day probably like 100 Rand to park my car. But before that, I was actually trying to park my car on the off-street parking that's close to the stadium. But things looked very dodgy, very dodgy. I didn't trust the people hanging around there. I think one of the, what they call the car guards, that is like local guys, or sometimes it's people that's homeless, then they would solicit money from you to look after the cars. And this particular car guard wanted to charge me 100 Rand to look after my car, and I didn't trust the whole setup there. And I drove a bit further where I found a school where they actually had parking there, and I paid $100 for my car to be parked where I know it will be relatively more safer. So that is the parking. Obviously you can also use e-hauling services like Bolt and Uber to get to the stadium and from the stadium. Yeah, so the parking at Loftus, it's alright. I won't still say that. It's just do not park off-street parking, and if you do, it's at your own risk. But there are schools nearby that provides parking for on match days, so look out for that. So that covers Loftus. So thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. You can't go wrong by doing that. So I'll catch you on my next video. Thank you.